This is Dylan Sampson's day yesterday. 12 rushes, 124 yards, 10 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. He also had 3 catches for 29 yards yesterday. They used him a little bit more in the pass game, 10 yards per catch. Dante Thornton, 3 catches, 105 yards. He averaged 35 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns on the day. If Josh Heupel could replicate one of those, not both, but you could pick one of them, and you can replicate that for the next 11 games, whose performance are you replicating?
Dylan Sampson's.
Okay.
Hands down. This offense is, even though it has the splashy numbers, is really a run game offense, right? When they run, I think it was the stat was the 150, 160 yards, we're going to win. And so when you look at that and you just go, who do I want to be consistently, if I have a running back that's getting 10 yards a carry, 120-something yards, I've dominated that line of scrimmage. A wide receiver that has 3 catches and 2 touchdowns for 105 yards, well, those could be your only big plays. But if you're doing that with a running back consistently, you've dominated and had a pretty good day.
Okay. All right.
Just for the sake of TV, honestly, I would go Sampson.
No, don't do that.
I would go
don't
Sampson.
do that because he fell right into my trap. Go ahead, fall into it as well.
I would go Sampson, but here's what I would say. If you think about the magical year we had, where we caught lightning in the bottle, the biggest game, the highlight I still see on social media and everywhere else from the Tennessee program is Jalen Hyatt catching 5 touchdowns, right, and dominating those guys down the field. What did we see Dante Thornton do yesterday? He's beating them consistently down the field. So what I would say is, run game-wise, we're not trying to kill you with the run game. It's just enough to keep you honest on defense. But if you got Dante Thornton, who's burning you down the field every game, he's going to get you at least 2 touchdowns. That's a big deal for our offense.
I would say, look, my hope was that both of you would say Dylan Sampson.
Didn't fall into it.
You didn't fall into the trap. But here's the reason. Most people look at that and they go, well, you can 150 yards versus 100, 3 touchdowns versus 2. What are you, crazy? You take that one. I take Dante Thornton, and here's why. They ran the ball just fine last year. They led the SEC. You ran the ball better than Alabama, better than Georgia, better than anyone in the league last year. 200 yards per game on the ground last year. And your offense didn't look good. Why? What dropped off from 2022 and 2021? The big plays disappeared. The big play in the passing game. I think your run game, with this offense, I think your run game is pretty much always going to be there. I think having the deep ball makes you diversified and much more dangerous. And I think you've got a much better chance of winning 10, 11 games when you've got a run game and a guaranteed deep ball as opposed to run game and not a guaranteed deep ball. So I would take the deep ball.
But if I had that Dylan Sampson stats against Georgia or Alabama, I've won. I mean, and you know what I'm saying? I don't think we ran it successfully like that against the top defensive line.
Not against Georgia, no.
So I'm saying, if you
take
that and you say, my defensive line, I'm going to get that with their defensive line, I feel like you've already won that game pretty much.
I think you're going to be. Oh, go ahead.
I would say this too, though. Like you got to keep in mind, Nico's a natural runner, so we're going to run the ball. Whether that be Sampson going for 150, or you got Nico that pick off 60 yards a game or something like that. We're going to rush the ball. What we did not have, and that took the electricity away from. That's that word again. The electricity away from our offense, which we know is an offensive game for us, is the deep ball down the field. And if we can get Dante Thornton, a guy that had problems with drops last year and looked like he was not confident that scoring 2 touchdowns a game, it's going to be hard to stop us.
Because I think Dylan Sampson's going to get numbers. I don't think you have to guarantee. I think his numbers are going to be really good. I don't know about Dante Thornton. That's why I would take that as the guarantee. Now, Kevin Simon, I've put up the numbers, 150 yards, what it is, yards per rush. Kevin Simon, who was over there, he was on our pregame show and will be Saturday kickoff, 11 a.m., WAT. He's a big believer that the run game, those numbers are just jacked up in the back ends of wins. That it's the deep ball that makes the difference. It's the run game that salts it away. I don't know that I go all that direction. I'm not 100% in on that. But last year made me feel like it's a lot closer to the truth. Because the thing that changed last year, your deep ball went away, your offense went away.
Don't disagree. We need the deep ball, right? There's no doubt.
No, you disagree. If you're going Dylan Sampson.
But I'm saying, if I can get a running back to get that against Alabama or Georgia, I like my chances a whole lot better that I've won that game.
That's why this was a great question, was it not?
It was a great question.
There you go. All right.
Very
good. When we come back, let's take a look at the Vols' future foes and how they did in their openers. And will Billy Napier actually make it to Knoxville with the Florida Gators. Come on back on the Sports Horse.